Pearson, the world's leading learning company, has been designated by Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, or IRCC, to launch its newest language test, which is called PTE Essential, for proof of English language proficiency, and accordingly being used for point-based immigration to Canada. Applicants can submit test results from one of the 3 approved English language tests, IELTS, CELPIP, as well as PTE Pearson Test of English, for their Canadian immigration applications. PTE Essential is a new version of the Pearson Test of English that is very similar to PTE Academic. The key difference, it has a more vocational, real-life and non-academic focus that meets IRCC language proficiency requirements. It is anticipated that applicants seeking to use PTE Essential to provide proof of English language proficiency for the purpose of Canadian permanent residency or citizenship. Welcome back everybody, thanks for watching this video. My name is Ahmed Rza, and here in Persia Global, we help those who are in search of better opportunities to work, live or study abroad. In today's video, I'm going to elaborate on how PTE's new test version can help applicants on their immigration journey, Canadian immigration pathways and language requirements, and to see if Pearson Test of English is easier than IELTS or not. The UK, Australian and New Zealand government already accept PTE Academic for all visa applications. PTE Academic is also accepted by 100% of Australian, New Zealand and Irish universities, 99% of UK universities and more than 90% of universities in Canada. IRCC recently announced it plans to welcome a record number of permanent residents in the years ahead, approximately 1.45 million in total in the next 3 years. With high demand in Canada for professionals in areas such as nursing, engineering and web development, etc., the approval of PTE Essential arrives at a good time for test takers. The fully digital test is delivered through Pearson, is a computer-based testing, and the latest AI technology is used for scoring. Biometric data collection provides enhanced security measures, and voice recognition software is applied for the speaking element of the test. Furthermore, test takers can book online up to 24 hours in advance, take advantage of year-round worldwide test center slots, and receive the results on average within 1.3 days. PTE Essential will be rolled out across Pearson's existing network with more than 400 PT centers in 118 countries. So you can probably find a PT center where you live. PTE Essential, which is a new English language test according to the IRCC, Pearson has created the Pearson Test of English, or PTE Essential, to meet IRCC's language proficiency requirements for Canadian immigration applicants. IRCC has different language criteria for study permit applicants, and thus international students generally need to take the academic version of language proficiency test. With the approval of PTE Essential, there are now 5 total language tests available to economic class immigration candidates, along with 3 English language tests, IELTS, CELPIP, and the new PTE Essential. There are 2 French language tests designated by IRCC. There have been Canadian immigration pathways and language requirements interwoven to each other, since most of the Canadian immigration pathways require applicants a language test results along with other criteria like age, work experience and qualifications. Canada offers over 100 different pathways for economic class immigrants, with the leading admissions pathways being the Provincial Nominee Program, or PNP, and Express Entry. Other economic class pathways such as IRC Pilot Program, the Atlantic Immigration Program, and Quebec Skilled Worker Program also require a language test designated by IRCC. In addition to an IRCC designated language test, candidates must achieve the minimum Canadian language benchmark, or CLB, score set for a given pathway. For example, the Federal Skilled Worker Program of SWP requires a CLB of at least 7 in all 4 abilities: writing, reading, listening, and speaking. So a question here is whether the Pearson test of English is easier than IELTS. In reality, PT is not an exception. My personal point of view is, of course, different. Undoubtedly, PT is an excellent choice to realize your aspiration of study or migrate to Canada. However, at the same time, taking the PT exam is a quite challenging chore. To me, PT Essential seems easier, as I explained why, though there is no set level of difficulty between IELTS and the Pearson test of English, PTE. Both exams assess writing, reading, listening, and speaking skills, but the format and number of questions can vary, causing one test to be easier for some individuals compared to the other. Many students report that they found the reading section of the IELTS test to be easier than the PTE equivalent, while they found the writing section of the PT exam less challenging than the IELTS alternative. So the IELTS writing test is often considered to be much tougher than the TOEFL or PT. All 3 of the tests have 2 tasks each. Thus far, by the recent format of the PT for Canada Immigration or PT Essential, you can find more easier reading contents or reading tests compared to its academic version, and of course easier writing compared to IELTS. IELTS follows a fixed question format while PT utilizes an adaptive testing approach. And if I want to compare PT with TOEFL, comparing between the PT and TOEFL test, though, the PT has more sections that are specifically gauged towards measuring speaking, and also the items are easier compared to that of the TOEFL test. Bear in mind that the TOEFL speaking is an integrated one. So the winner for the speaking section is the PT test. Before giving you a bottom line that I have about PT and its acceptance for migration, let's give you some other important points for taking this exam. PT Academic and PT Academic Online provides secure English language testing for study applications worldwide, including Canada. While PT Academic is accepted for applications for work and migration in Australia, New Zealand, and the UK, PT Academic Online is not accepted for work and migration purposes. However, the new PT test or PT Essential is accepted for applications for work and migration in Canada. So you should consider this when registering for the PT exam. We also can conclude a more precise scoring in PT compared to IELTS, as the cutting-edge technologies ensure the provision of an impartial and highly accurate test of people's English language proficiency, and also somewhat and fairly easier test compared to IELTS and CELP, as a test needs no examiner to perhaps have a subjective consideration towards your speaking and writing. I have also concluded that PT Essential will have slightly easier reading and speaking tests too. For having a better comparison between IELTS and CELP, you can also locate another video in our channel in Immigration to Canada playlist that I have compared these 2 tests with more details. Thanks again for your watching. I hope this video could help you on your immigration journey. Pursuit Global wouldn't have been the same without your support, likes, and comments. Please don't forget to see other videos in our channel related to Canada immigration, and also to check other playlists related to the introduction of better opportunities to work, live, or study abroad. This video's quote comes from a British writer and professor at Oxford and Cambridge Universities, C.S. Lewis. He says, "You cannot go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending." See you in the next video. Over and out.